Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you a few of the top side hustles for 2020 according to three very wealthy people, two of them being billionaires, and one of them is from Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban actually did an interview with CNBC not too long ago, and basically he said that home device scripting is the future and one of the things you need to be able to do if you want a good side hustle that's built for now and for the future trends, because everything is going towards AI, home devices like Alexa, Google Home, things like that. So you can actually go to different places, like say in your area, that do all sorts of home device setup or smart home setups and stuff like that. There may not be a whole lot of places that do this yet, but it's going to be more and more common in the future. You can look for places that do these types of smart home setups, maybe especially if you live near a major city, and you can offer your services for $25, $30 per hour, maybe more, to help create custom Alexa services and script that for them. You learned how to code that stuff in there. It's actually easier than you think, according to Mark Cuban. So if you read the article, he talks about scripting voice commands into Alexa, Google Home, Microsoft's Cortana, Echo Dot, and those types of things. And he talks about $25, $30, $40 an hour. It's one of those types of things that he even talks to his kids about doing. And they actually have something that, or they have different programs where they will teach you this. The companies that actually own these products, like Amazon, for instance. So you can actually go to developer.amazon.com and learn tutorials and coding samples for building these Alexa skills or these voice commands that you can program custom into different devices for, maybe your friends and family to start, and then later on you could build a business around that. You could even try this with, say, like freelance websites where you would somehow get the code to them, but it would be harder to do. Of course, this is more of one of those things where if you actually have the device, you could probably code them in yourself, or if you get really good, you could maybe send the snippets of code for people or teach them how to do the same type of work. So you could do courses, you could do done-for-you services online on a place like Fiverr or other places where you can do freelance work, or you could do it in person and have like your own little store and start out with friends and family, get some testimonials, and then grow from there, get a lease space, and start programming these for people. You can also sometimes get paid directly from Amazon for this kind of stuff. If you look up Earn Money with Alexa Developer Rewards, you can learn more about some of the things you can get paid to do depending on how good some of your scripts might be. You can also use Google's cloud service or cloud.google.com. They actually have some places where you can learn the basics, how-to guides, and different tutorials and stuff for how to program things into a Google Home device. And of course, they also have courses on places like Udemy. They can have all sorts of courses on just about anything, but for like $13, you can learn how to program Alexa skills into an Alexa home device, or you could learn how to do something for, say, Google Home or whatever. And you can also learn to code for free. Just make sure you use the right coding languages. Do your research on which ones are best for which device, and you can learn coding for free on your phone or computer at sololearn.com. Another thing you can do is become a virtual assistant. Actually, this is something that was suggested by Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. So this is one of the things he actually suggested that he would do if he had to get a side hustle and didn't have a lot of money to start. So if he had to start from scratch, he'd find problems that everyone had and solve it, as he says here in this interview with CNBC. And one of the big things that people need right now, $60, $100 an hour sometimes, is a good digital assistant. Big CEOs, you have entrepreneurs, people like that are always hiring these types of people, and you don't have to leave home to do this anymore. You can build sites for people, you can help people manage their day-to-day work, whatever. So you can actually find jobs like this. If you're starting out, you might not want to do anything super difficult until you kind of build a name for yourself, but you can start out doing stuff like virtual assistant work. Now, if you have experience as an assistant then you can work at boldly.com. You can make $20 an hour. You can do marketing and social media, project manager, legal assistant, executive assistant, stuff like that. This is for if you actually have some experience doing a related job to this. So if you do, you can make $20 an hour as an assistant doing the email, scheduling appointments, doing research, data entry, stuff like that. And again, $20 or so per hour, flexible hours, paid vacation, lots of benefits, and this is mostly in the US. If you don't have as much experience, or if you do and you just want to see what other options you have, you might check out profitfactory.com/jobs. This is a place where they find a lot of jobs for people who are good at virtual assistant type work or marketing work that can manage the day-to-day operations or some of the things that these companies don't have time to do themselves, or maybe an individual, like again, a CEO or a small-time entrepreneur doesn't have time for. And a lot of times you can start out part-time and work your way up to full-time with a flexible schedule. But usually these will pay around $20 or so per hour. So if you scroll down a little bit, it'll usually tell you the pay. Like this one says $20 an hour, as you can see there. And you have all sorts of different companies that post on here. I've seen law firms. You might see medical companies, you might see marketing companies, you see all sorts of things on here. $20 an hour, 10 plus hours per week. The other one was like 25 to 30 hours per week. So they usually have a few postings on here. They'll tell you which company it is, 20 to 25 hours per week for this one, what you'll need to know how to do. Usually you'll need to be good with Google Suite or Microsoft Office, and those are kind of basic skills. Pretty much all of them require, plus a little bit more depending on the company. Here's another one that has to do with pool guy, pool services and stuff like that, as just an example of another small business, $20 an hour. So this is a great side hustle you can do as well. So last but not least, number 3, flipping stuff is a big side hustle that Gary Vaynerchuk actually suggests all the time on his YouTube channel and in an interview with CNBC. He said a lot of people can make $100K doing this, and he's actually seen some of his fans do it. So he's watching people literally go from homeless to building up 50 to 100K per year, flipping stuff that they find in garage sales, that they might find in thrift stores, or things like that. You can even look at an example of nastygal.com. This is a multi-million-dollar company that sells vintage clothing, started by Sophia Amoruso, who is now worth about $5 million according to Wikipedia. And she started out just going to thrift stores, buying stuff that she saw was really marked down. She knew quite a bit about vintage clothing. And then she would create an eBay store and sell this stuff for a much higher price to people who were looking specifically for that. And because she sold it online, there's a lot of people that potentially that would see it and want to buy it. So then she built Nasty Gal. She also wrote a bunch of books like Girl Boss and some other ones as well if you want to read more about her. She's also been on some podcasts like the Tim Ferriss Show and stuff like that if you want to kind of see this strategy done in its optimal form, kind of going from what Gary Vee suggests for flipping stuff and then going more towards a full-time millionaire at that. So you can also watch his videos just by searching Gary Vee flipping. He has a lot of stuff where he will actually go to garage sales and talk about some ways you can flip stuff and some items that you might want to look at in the future. Now, for finding stuff on sale and finding stuff at a bargain, you have to find where people are kind of giving away stuff or selling stuff dirt cheap. So one thing you can do is go to yardsalesearch.com. You can find all sorts of garage sales here. It'll show you on the map, and then you can just go there instead of, the traditional way of just driving around looking for signs is going to take way too long. But you could try that. You could also try Craigslist. If you go to for sale, you can find a free section right here. You can click the free section to find stuff people are giving away. Some people, will trade things up until they can find something really good to sell. Or you can actually go to garage sale and look for people who are posting about garage sales in your area. So Craigslist is a great high traffic site for that. And you can also check a site and mobile app called Let Go. A lot of people will sell this stuff within, 5, 10, 20 miles of you. And this is a great way to pay people through an app, find stuff through the app, text the owner back and forth of a good time to pick it up and then go get it. You can also resell it on LetGo, or you can sell it as like an eBay store or something, kind of like Sophia Amoruso did, or kind of like how Gary Vee usually will suggest. And you can actually have like a theme to your store, and you can sell things that way. So there's a lot of ways you can do this, but those are the 3 side hustles that a lot of billionaires and multimillionaires that you've probably heard of already are suggesting based on some of their recent interviews with CNBC. So hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.